Hello and welcome along to Mondo Chalavet Movies. My name is John and this is what movies I picked up in the month of September 2021. Now it's been quite a busy month, so I'm going to crack on with this and I'm going to talk about some of them but not all of them. So these are in order of how I picked them up. First off, I've got Piranha 2 from 88 Films. This movie looks spectacular. A lot of these movies I haven't checked out, but I have skipped through them just to see what they look like. This is a great presentation. I wouldn't say it's a great movie, but I think it's a fun movie, a movie you can enjoy, whereas you would think that, I think Piranha is by far the better one. This is directed by James Cameron, although he likes to think that it's not. And I'm interested in checking out, well, all of these, but this one here is just a really good presentation by 88. I would imagine if you can find it, pick it up. I picked it up in the sale, so they're very doable. And I think that these just look spectacular on the shelves. I really love this slipcover artwork. It's probably better than the film. Next up, I picked up Zootropolis from Poundland, and I do like these. Me and my wife like these movies. I mean, they're just an easy watch, and you can just sort of switch off and just put them on, and just I think they look spectacular on the TV. And I like these computer generated movies. And this one's one that I'll buy all these ones when I see them in Poundland. Don't know anything about it, but I've heard good things about it. So that's Zootropolis. Next up is Dr. Mordred. Now this was bought in a sale as well. This is an 88 Films Full Moon Pictures release, which I do like the Full Moon Pictures. I think they put out some great movies. They're all sort of tongue-in-cheek and they're all a bit cheesy. But I've been led to believe that this was kind of, if you wanted this was their version of Doctor Strange. There was a lot of problems making a Doctor Strange movie. I think they might have wanted to make one, couldn't get the rights. So they made their version of Doctor Strange. As you can tell, it kind of looks, it's got all the hallmarks of it, hasn't it? But this stars Jeffrey Combs, so it's going to be a winner for me. I've been after this for a while, so I was happy to pick it up in the sale. So also I got in the Italian Classics collection range, I got this one here, The Doll of Satan. So this is spine number 61, and it looks spectacular actually. It's got a really good presentation here. It's got a lot of things in here. It's got a poster, and it's got limited edition slipcase. So I love these slipcases that they're doing with this Italian Classics line. Obviously they've moved on to sort of bigger boxes now. But this was the last of the sort of slipcover ones. So that's Doll of Satan. Next up is the one that I had on a regular release, but I thought it was that good. I had that much of a good time with it. I thought I've got to get the special edition. So I got it for about £8 less than I originally saw it. And I was so pleased to get this because I was really surprised that the special edition was still in the shops. It is Erotic Ghost Story. This is a category 3 movie. And so it is more adult than you would imagine. But I do think that this is sort of like Witches in the Woods, which is a great sort of genre that I like in Chinese movies. And I found this movie to look spectacular as well. And it's such a good watch for me. It's a very entertaining movie. That's Erotic Ghost Story. Next up is a Hammer movie, Demons of the Mind. This is 1972. It's one of the ones that I can't even remember seeing this on the TV, which is strange for me because usually all these Hammer ones I can remember to a certain degree. And interested to see, I've got quite a few Hammers to get through. I will be doing a top 10 of all my Hammer horror movies. Try saying that after 10 pints. And I'm interested to see how some of these will stack up, if will these get in the top 10, because I've got a kind of idea what my top 10 will be. But when I re-watch some of these other Hammers that I haven't seen for a long time, or maybe haven't seen at all, I'll be interested to see if they get put in the top 10. That's Demons of the Mind. Next up is one of the best films I've ever picked up in Poundland, and it is I Give It a Year. This film is spectacular. It's so funny. You have got to get this movie. If you see it, if there is any copies left in Poundland, do pounce on it, because it's such an entertaining movie. I had such a great time with it. I feel like it's a bit more like The Office than a sort of love story, but it's just got some great performance in here. So that's I Give It a Year. Next up I got Madame Dubarry. This is a film from 1919. I love my silent movies, as you know. And this has got booklets. It's got 2 discs, DVD and Blu Ray. It's got a big booklet in there, big thick booklet. And this film, well, for 1919, all of these films, they do look quite good. I mean, I've got scratches all over them, but the sharpness of them is quite incredible in some of the scenes. And I've got a big lot of silent movies to get through, so I'm looking forward to getting into them. This month I'm quite concentrating on horror, as you would imagine, but that's Madame Dubarry. Next up is Whiplash. Now this is the Blu-ray, although the only reason why I bought this was because I wanted to get a 4K which doesn't have a slip. So I've found a slip which I've never seen one of these out in the wild at all. So I got this purely to put the 4K in here when it comes down in a sale, because I've seen it plenty of times for £10 in HMV. As soon as I see it for £10, I'll get it and put this in the slipcover there, because I like to have slipcovers on my 4K. So that's Whiplash. Next up is The Tingler. This is an absolutely brilliant horror film. It's kind of like one of those ones you think wouldn't be frightening at all, but I've got to admit this is a really frightening film, and I'm not just saying that. I remember having quite bad nightmares about this movie for a certain scene that I thought wouldn't scare me today. I mean, it doesn't scare us today, but I've watched it, I thought, wow, I can really see how that does sort of twist your mind. It's quite good as well. If you're into Vincent Price especially, do try and check out The Tingler. You'll have a great time with it. It's one of the best movies that I've seen of his. That's The Tingler. Next up is The Poseidon Adventure. Been after The Poseidon Adventure for quite a while, so I finally tracked one down. Got this movie, and I haven't watched it yet. I mean, I've watched it back in the day a long time ago, but really interested to see it. It's got a good print on it. The ship in here, when it's sailing on the water, looks very much like a toy. I think there's a real ship in it, but there's obviously a toy ship as well, and you can really tell it a mile off. But I'm so interested to see this because I love my sinking ship films, as you know. So that's The Poseidon Adventure. Next up is Prophecy. Now this is it's a really good film actually. I've checked it out, half of it, but I need to go back to it and finish it off. And it's so good, and it's got amazing print. The best thing about it is it's quite dark in the movie, so the best thing about it is you can actually see the darkness, what's happening in the darkness, whereas before when I watched it on VHS you couldn't see a thing that was going in the movie. This has got reversible art as well. That's the art I remember on the pre-cert. Sorry, yes, the pre-cert VHS. And they've done a really spectacular job with this. I know there's a scene cut out of it because it's like a bit cruelty to animals, which I can live with. So it's only a couple of seconds. So that's Prophecy. Next up is The Commuter. I got this from One Below. It was only £1, so these are movies that I will check out down the line somewhere. But when you see these ones for £1, you can't put them back on the shelf, because I like Liam Neeson. I wouldn't buy these movies at full price for £1. You can't go past them. So that's The Commuter. Next up is 80s Scream Queens, and this has got 3 movies on: Nightmare Sisters, Deadly Embrace, and Murder Weapon. Now I started watching half of Nightmare Sisters, and the picture quality on here is absolutely stunning. I've got to admit, it's one of the best picture qualities I've seen on the Blu-ray. So you get one movie on one disc and you get 2 movies on the other disc. The 2 movie ones are 16mm, and the one on one disc is 35mm. And I've watched half of the Nightmare Sisters, and you go back to that one as well, because I watched it late at night and fell asleep. Not because the film was bad, just because it was started far too late. And it was really interesting actually. It's very much cheesy, very much tongue-in-cheek, but I was having a good time with it actually. So that's Nightmare Sisters, Deadly Embrace, Murder Weapon, and the 80s Scream Queens. Next up is Inframan. Now I'm dying to get some time when my wife's off so we can watch this movie. We love stuff like this. This is going to be crazy. I've heard great things about it. I've heard it is nuts. It's one of those Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movies that I think they're very watchable. Yes, I mean it is crazy, and it is from the mid-70s, and it's very much in a sort of Godzilla tone, because Godzilla went very sort of for kids in the middle 70s, but this it's got a really good picture quality on it, and I've been looking at this for a while, so I got it in the sale, so yes, why not? That's Inframan. Next up is The Man with a Movie Camera. Now this is a great special edition from BFI. Got a lovely booklet in there. It's also got I forgot to mention, it's got a music by Michael Nyman, who's a great composer. He did the music for some great music for The Cook, The Thief, His Wife and Her Lover. Brilliant movie. And the music on here is really good actually. This is like a documentary from the 1920s in Russian, a Russian documentary, and really interesting seeing this. It does say in the back that it says this is the greatest documentary that was ever filmed. So yeah, I've heard a lot of people say good things about it. That's The Man with a Movie Camera. Next up is a double bill of Battleship Potemkin and Drifters. Now this is a silent movie, Battleship Potemkin is, and Drifters I think is a talkie, and both in black and white, and they're sort of Russian propaganda films. I've heard loads of good things about Battleship Potemkin. It's got some pretty graphic scenes in it, if I'm honest. And it's a PG, which I don't know how it's a PG. It's one of those movies where you think, oh, it'll be about a 12. But I've checked it out, and it does look really stunning, actually. They've done a really good job with it. And you get 2 discs in there, and you get this lovely booklet as well. That's the best thing about BFI when you go back. And this movie's been out quite a bit. They always seem to come with a booklet, no matter how old these movies are. So that's Battleship Potemkin and Drifters. Next up is an absolute classic. It is The Thing on 4K. Personally, I've flicked through this movie and I found it to look spectacular. I even thought the sound was great. I haven't watched it fully yet. I want to put it on at night when it's pitch black, and I want to revel in this movie because I love the movie. It's one of my favourite movies of all time. And the 4K for me, I didn't need to get the special edition. I must have bought the thing more than anything else I've ever had. If you want all the special features, they're not really on this disc. I'll go for the Arrow version for the special features, and if you want the upgrade in the picture quality, go for The Thing on 4K. But it's a stone cold classic, and so happy to pick it up on 4K. And I do think it looks really good, but I want to really get into it and watch it, like I say, late at night, so I've definitely got to watch it this month because of it being the sort of spooky month. So that's The Thing. Next up on 4K is The Quantum of Solace. Now, this movie, out of the 4 Daniel Craig James Bonds, this one looks the best. It looks absolutely spectacular on 4K. Casino Royale didn't look that good, but I've got to say, out of the 4 of them that I've seen, I have seen the new one at the pictures, which I enjoyed. This one is absolutely brilliant. So happy to get these. I'll get these all as £10. You can't grumble with that. I wouldn't pay full price for them because I've bought them before. I do have them on Blu-ray, but I was happy to get this. That's Quantum of Solace. Next up is from One Below is Two Guns. I've never really been a fan of Denzel Washington until I saw Training Day with my good friend Movie Worm, who I'll leave a link down below to his channel. He said to me to watch this for a collaboration video that we did, and I've got to admit it was a stunning movie. So I'm interested in checking out more of his movies, and that's Two Guns with a nice slip. Next up is Cold Pursuit. Now this was a great find, I thought, at One Below. It's one of the Liam Neeson movies that I have wanted to see, because these movies that I've got of his, they're all right, but this is one that I do really want to watch. So happy to pick it up for, like I say, it might be rubbish, but for £1 it doesn't matter, does it? So you get it and you can just give it away. It doesn't matter at all. So I'm really glad to pick that one up. That was one of my best finds in One Below, I think. Next up, I've got A Bunch of Amateurs, which I have seen this movie on TV and I did enjoy it. And I've never really seen it in the wild, even though I haven't looked for it. And another one from One Below. It's a great shop. You just go in and you don't know what's going to be in there. It seems to change the stock all the time. It's not like Poundland that never changes its stock ever these days. So happy to pick that one up. That's A Bunch of Amateurs. Next up is a silent classic movie called Sunrise. Now this movie here is one of the ones that you think it's always talked about. It's directed by F.W. Murnau as well, who's directed Nosferatu. And I've flicked a couple of scenes on it. It looks really interesting, really good. It is Master Cinema Eureka #1. So that's amazing to get that. You know, there is. You think, well, I never even thought there was a #1. Well, obviously there is. So yeah, so that's Sunrise. Next up on 4K is Skyfall. This is another one where I've went and got these ones, the James Bond ones, for £10, and it looks really good. If I'm honest, it looks probably nearly as good as A Quantum of Solace. It's shot outside for most of it. I can't really remember these ones. I can remember Casino Royale because I think I watched that the most. But these other ones, especially Skyfall and Spectre, I think I've only ever watched them once. So maybe twice, because I think I saw them at the cinema. So yeah, we want to go through. Now I've watched the 4th one, the 5th one, No Time to Die. We will go back and watch the whole lot in sequence, because I think we'll have a great time with these Daniel Craig Bond movies. In essence, I prefer them. I like the Roger Moore stuff. My wife doesn't like Roger Moore, but I like Daniel Craig, and she likes Daniel Craig as well. So yes, so that's Skyfall. So of course, to complete the set for now, we've got Spectre on 4K as well. This is another one. It doesn't look as good as Quantum of Solace or Skyfall, but it still looks really nice. Like, looks better than Casino Royale, which it does look good, Casino Royale. I'm not saying it looks bad. It just doesn't look as good as I thought it would look, because it's like outside all the time. So that's Spectre for £10. Excellent. Next up is the Oily Maniac. This is in the 88 Asian collection, which is a great little collection. I'm getting a little bit more into this. I think I might start picking some of these movies up. I think some of them are out of print, but you know, that it is what it is. I could have had them if I'd started collecting them when they first started coming out, but I wasn't that eager to do that, because some of the movies in there I don't really care for, if I'm honest. So I don't think I would ever want to buy all the movies. But the ones I've got and the ones I've watched, I think are absolutely brilliant. And this one is shaping up to be one of the craziest ones you'll ever see. That's the Oily Maniac. Well, with a title like Oily Maniac, what else is it going to be? And then I got, for the two for £15, I got Surf Nazis Must Die. It's a trauma movie. I love trauma films. I think they are very watchable. They're very cheesy. They're very low budget. They're very not PC. It ticks all the boxes for me. So yeah, so that's Surf Nazis Must Die. What a title. Next up I got from CEX. It's a very heavy set. It's the Charlie Chaplin Mutual Comedies. There's 12 movies in here. You have a running time of 356 minutes. You get a booklet in here. You get 2 discs. It's got everything going for it. I know there's another set out featuring another set of comedies, so I want to get that one as well. I think you can get it online for about £10, so I'll be picking that up. Hopefully I have a slipcase on it, but it might not have. But the quality on here looks absolutely spectacular as well. The movies I've got in here are some of his best known movies. So that's Charlie Chaplin, the Mutual Comedies. Next up I've been after this movie for quite a while, and I did want it in a red case. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. I think my wife wants to watch this, and our shifts haven't been too kind to us this week, so I haven't been able to sort of meet up and get towards the telly. So yeah, so this one, I've heard good things about it actually, and I think I saw a trailer a while back and I thought, yeah, I'll check that out. And then of course you were looking for it and you can't find it anywhere. So that's The Autopsy of Jane Doe. So lastly I got silent movie classic Wings. The thing I like about the Eureka title, the Masters of Cinema, they always come with the booklets, like I say. They're always very well presented. This has got 3 discs in it actually. You get this huge booklet, big thick booklet. It does star Clara Bow, who was the It Girl. So that's my bumper month for September. I'm really excited to watch most of these movies because they're quite high up on my to watch list. So thanks for watching. You take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.